Hello and welcome to American Mogul. Today we are going to discuss what will happen in a $1 trillion per Bitcoin world. Yeah. So think about it. If we get hyperinflation, if the debasement of money supply in the United States continues on its current pace, and Bitcoin hits $1 trillion per Bitcoin, what kind of world would that be? Well, if that happened at the current ratio between Bitcoin and gold would be roughly $50 billion per ounce, and silver 10 billion per ounce. What kind of world would that be? That would be Mad Max, Road Warrior, zombie apocalyptic world. You wouldn't want to live in that world. Think about it. If the financial system unraveled, yeah, you gotta think. And Bitcoin hit $1 trillion, gold hit 50 billion, and silver hit 10 billion. What would a loaf of bread cost? What would stable goods to live cost? There would be no supply, because there would be no way to exchange it. Yeah, the whole system would collapse. It would be horrific. Yeah. And personally, I think if Bitcoin to hit $1 million, never mind $1 trillion, never mind $1 trillion per Bitcoin, $1 million per Bitcoin will be enough to start the apocalypse. Yeah. So there is a usefulness for Bitcoin, gold, and silver. But then there come a time where it's useless. Yeah. Because you can't eat Bitcoin. You can't eat gold. You can't eat silver. Because there's going to come a time where nobody will want it. Where the most valuable thing is going to be water, food, and lead, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't understand at all what the central banks around the world and the governments around the world are trying to accomplish, because they are destroying the entire fabric of human existence. Yeah. The entire fabric of humanity is being unraveled before our eyes with these ludicrous monetary and fiscal policies. They couldn't mishandle it more than they are. If you put these numbskulls from the Federal Reserve and the government in charge of the desert, quite quickly there would be a shortage of sand. You know what I'm saying? They can't manage anything. Or they are evil geniuses intent on destroying humanity for whatever narcissistic reason they have. But you gotta think, how do we get to $1 trillion per Bitcoin? How do we get to 50 billion for an ounce of gold? How do we get to 10 billion for an ounce of silver? Yeah. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at Venezuela. That's where we are going. By putting leaders in charge who have no concept of humanity or no care for humanity. Yeah. they are psychopaths. They have no sense of morality or feeling or emotion or anything. I'm sorry to get this emotional, but when I think of the human crisis that is going to occur, it is beyond my ability to put into words. You know, for all of you Bitcoiners, for all of you goldsmiths, for all of you silversmiths out there, yeah, what kind of world are you going to have? If the price points that you are talking about are achieved. Mad Max world, yeah, Road Warrior style, zombie apocalypse style, yeah, Armageddon. These are words, I'm not throwing them around. This is what's going to happen. You can see it as clear as day. Yeah. As clear as day, the apocalypse is coming. And it will, I don't even think, I believe, with current monetary policy and somebody cut the brake lines. Yeah, they can't, even when they tap the brakes, it accelerates. Yeah. Both the gas pedal and the brake pedal are set to accelerate. The money printing is only getting ramped up. And eventually, one day, gold, yeah, will hit 50 billion an ounce. Silver, 20 billion an ounce. And Bitcoin, 1 trillion. Think about that. What will a Starbucks coffee be? 20 million? Yeah. Or maybe more, because right now silver is $25. Starbucks coffee, if you get a fancy one, $10. So a Starbucks coffee could be 4 or 5 billion. Think about that. Think about that. When a taco from Taco Bell is $700 million. Chaos. Unadulterated chaos. Human suffering at a magnitude unimaginable since biblical times. I don't know. I am confused how we could put these people in position of power. Not just of our future, but our children and grandchildren. What kind of world we are making for them? We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should be completely and totally ashamed of ourselves, of what we are leaving to future generations. I believe that at some point divine intervention has to occur, because we are self-destructing in all possible ways. We are indulging in the 7 sins at the maximum possible potential that those sins can perversely affect mankind. What are we going to say to our children and our grandchildren and future generations that are coming? No. Because this is not just happening now. This has happened hundreds and hundreds of times in the past. And usually it leads to nothing good. You know? It leads to hunger, famine, pestilence, despair. You know? And Book of Revelations, they talk about 4 horsemen of apocalypse, but the 4 horsemen have been around many, many, many times. We are just having another round of it. I think it's prophetic, yeah. But not that it's the end all be all, it's just the end of that era. Yeah. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse signify the end of that era. The end of that civilization, the end of that dynasty, the end of that kingdom. That's what the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And it tells you the stages on how an empire falls. Yeah. Famine, pestilence, war, death. That's how empires fall. Kingdoms fall. Dynasties fall. And it repeats itself. Yeah. How we're going to come out of this with the leaders we have in place now, no chance. There is no chance. There is no way. All you can do is protect yourself and your family and your community. I hope I am wrong, but I see into the future. Yeah, there are signals. Like, think about, you read a story, yeah, a fairy tale. You start the book and read to your children or your grandchildren, and you kind of got an idea of how the story going to end. Same thing with what is happening today in the world. It's not a fairy tale, it is a Greek tragedy. Yeah. And you know how it's going to end. And why is it called a Greek tragedy? Because it ends in tragedy. Where are we going to go? How are we going to get there? How are we going to recover? Through a lot of pain, through a lot of hunger, through a lot of disillusionment, through a lot of things that are not positive, and how are we going to come out of it? Because only way now to come out of it is to start raising interest rates. You got to rein in the debt. The debt is astronomical. And you have to outlaw derivatives, yeah? Leveraged instruments have to be outlawed. Corporate buybacks have to be outlawed. And every company has to rebuild manufacturing, which is the backbone of any society. All societies, what happens? They work hard, yeah? And they get wealthy. And then the wealthy think, why do I have to pay this much money when over there I can exploit that labor for cheaper and send it over there? Which strengthens that country and weakens their country. Yeah? Sound familiar? This has happened many, many times in the past. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have come many, many, many times. So, higher interest rates, rebuilding a manufacturing base, taxing people accordingly, and government only spending the tax money they receive or give up on taxes. Yeah? If the government gonna print all the money in the world to their heart's content, to infinity and beyond, then stop asking us for tax money. Yeah? Live within your means. Yeah? And start to rebuild from the ashes of disaster which are going to come. Everything is going to burn. Yeah? Everything is going to burn down to ashes. And then from those ashes we have to rebuild. Financial assets, monetary assets, tangible assets, and intangible assets are going to go to ash. And from that ash, you have to rebuild a society. Will it be easy? No. Will it be fun? No. Will we have our difficulties? Yes. Absolutely. But somebody has got to stop the insanity that central banks and governments around the world are indulging in. Somebody has to stop it. Because what kind of world will we wake up to when Bitcoin hit $1 trillion per Bitcoin, when gold is $50 billion an ounce, silver $10 billion an ounce? Yeah. This could knock us back to the Stone Ages. Yeah, to the Stone Ages. I'm not joking. Because as things fall apart, infrastructure fall apart, we are not set to live a survivalist life. We are too soft. We have been given everything and squandered it. Yeah? We have inherited everything and we have squandered it. Yeah? And we have been given a bright and shining future and we destroyed it. Yeah? The 7 deadly sins rule the world, but the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are coming to balance the scales. Yeah? Do what you can. Do what you think is right. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Protect your community. God bless you and keep you safe.